Hello. Hey, can y'all hear me? Number one. That's number one.
Yeah, I got you. I got this on camera.
Guys. Yeah, I cannot for the life of me get music to come through. I cannot, and I don't know why. And it's not just that. I can't get Spotify to come through, and I can't get tabletop audio, which I made a great playlist for our game today, and that's not coming through. Like the OBS is even picking it up. So that's frustrating.
Yeah, I got you. I got this
I can't
on
hear
camera.
that. Can y'all hear blurps? I can't hear the blurp. I don't know what's going on. According to me, according to my levels, the blurp sounds are coming through. Silverfear, you can hear them. Okay, that's all that matters. Silverfear resubscribed. This is your 9th month to be subscribed. Thank you, Silverfear. That deserves a cheer. Imagine you can hear that. So let me tell you what I've tried. I restarted the computer. I shut down OBS and restarted it. Oh, another sub. See, I can't hear that. I can't hear that. Another sub from Great Nero, starting a hype train. Choo choo, choo choo. You said music was bugging out in Streamlabs too, Nishi. Okay. Well, I mean, la 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 la. We can do this. If we really want music, we can do the. If you really want to dance, but I don't know. I tried. I promise I tried. That's why I was a few minutes late starting. I tried everything I could think of, other than Googling it, which I didn't have time to Google. So this is fine. You can hear me. I can't hear alerts. But you can hear me, and that's what matters most, I guess. So apologies for the somewhat silence. Well, actually, the silence. I've done everything that I can think to do. So, all that being said, I'm probably going to complain a few times throughout the stream. Be like, man, I wish there was some music. I wish there was some great thematic music playing right now. But you know, like I said, I tried. I don't know what else to do. So, that being said, hello everybody. I'm really glad you're here. How is your Thursday going? Today is a very special stream. This is a stream sponsored by Red Raven Games. Thank you, Red Raven Games. Let's cheer. Thank you, Red Raven Games. We're going to be playing Song of Silveranth. Bluetooth, yeah, make your own, play your own music. You play your own music. Or I could play my own music, I guess. Nah, that'd be bad. It'd be bad quality. This is preview version. But we're gonna be playing. Oh, I'm pretending like I can hear what that's playing. I'm really excited to play this game. I'm really excited to show it off. I've been playing it a lot this week to make sure I know what I'm doing. And I feel pretty good about it. So we're gonna have a great time here in a little bit. But first, we always do on the Pieces and Pixels stream. Welcome everybody. Make sure everybody gets in. Make sure everybody can see and hear. This is the time for you to tell me about your week. Tell me what you've been doing, any games you've been playing. Ask questions. This is you time. And then in just shortly amount of time, it's one of my favorite sentences. Just shortly amount of time, we will get into our gameplay and discussion of Song of Silveranth. I bought pickle salsa just for today. That is quite the occasion. I'm still tempted. The last time we were at Aldi, I was this close to getting the spicy kind. I don't know. The regular is just fine, so why mess with it? So I'm gonna just stick with the regular pickle salsa.
City boy,
city boy. I'm gonna do it so that I can know what you're doing. Receding Samson says, going to a board game convention in Idaho Falls today. Awesome. That sounds like a blast. Is this your first time going there, or have you been before? And would you recommend it, if you have been to it before, would you recommend it to people in the area? Let's see. Suitably Confused says, need an old-timey stereo system back playing music. You know, the kind we used to have 10 years ago. I actually have one of those. Well, I wouldn't say stereo system. I've got one of those, like, replica turntables. That would be cool to play. Christine Sam says, been before. It's great for Idaho locals. Nice. Well, if you're local to Idaho, we have an endorsement from Receding Samson to go to, what's it called? What's the convention called? Let me go back and say hi to everybody. Nishi was first. There's proof. Nishi said it, therefore Nishi's first. Then we have My Blue Heather. Hello, My Blue Heather. Hello, hello. Great Nero. Everybody complaining that they can't hear anything. So, sorry. Not complaining, just making observations. Silverfear. Hello, Silverfear. Thanks again for the sub. Cosmic Beat with the classic Mr. Bubs emotes. Let's see, who else? Who else? If you haven't said hello, say hello in chat. I'd love to say hello to you. True Ichiban. Ichiban's here. Hey, Ichiban. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Welcome to the stream. Icon is the name of the convention. So if you're in the Idaho area, go there this weekend. Great Nero says, I once almost went on my honeymoon to Idaho Falls. Turns out the cat was actually near Twin Falls. Almost missed it by that much. You're complaining? You're complaining? I can't. Oh, man. That's okay. Again, I did everything I could. And if Nishi says whatever platform is having, maybe it's just internet music problem day. Would rather have done Idaho Falls, to be honest. I don't know what it is, but when I see Idaho Falls, I just picture a giant waterfall, but instead of water, it's potatoes just tumbling off the side of a cliff. Potato Falls. Okay. That's profiling? I'm sorry. That's maybe I probably was not the only one that thought that. Gosh, the silence is deafening. Let me try again. I'm going to push play. No. Let me try something. Advanced audio properties. It's like everything besides this, anything that's coming through as a piece of software is not playing. Spotify. I'm going to do. Yeah. Yeah, anything that's coming through as a piece of software is just not going to play. So here we go. Let's see. True Ichiban. Let's see. Let me go back. It's Thanksgiving weekend in Canada. Oh, well, happy Canadian Thanksgiving to you, Suitably Confused. I guess I don't need these if I can't hear anything. Happy Thanksgiving weekend, Suitably Confused. I bet there's a lot for you to be thankful for in Canada these days. Let's see. Baked Potato Falls, yum. Lammy Rock 2. Hey, Tom is here. Hello, Tom. Thanks for being here. Everybody give a round of applause for Tom. So glad you're here, Tom. As I was telling everybody, I don't know if you heard, I'm having my music. No music is being played, unfortunately. So some people don't even stream with music. So for other people, it wouldn't be a big deal. But for me, it is. Okay. Treachbon, hey, was that man? Jump into the stream. I wonder if you're talking about Tom. I think Tom was here. He jumped in. How are Laura and the kids? Laura and the kids are great. Doing good. Next week is our fall break. So we are off. Well, Laura has to work, but we're off all week. Girls are off all week. I also will be having family come into town, so I won't be streaming next week. But I will have a video up, my full preview, GameFound preview, crowdfunding preview of Song of Silveranth, to give you all my thoughts on, what my approach to those is. I'm going to give you all the information that you need to make an informed decision about if you should back the game or not. I'm not going to tell you to. I'm going to say, here are all the things that you need to know, and then you decide for yourself. Hey, Jack. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. I never knew they had a Thanksgiving. Well, now you know. Now you know. See, you come to a Pieces and Pixels stream and you learn about culture around the world. Just sing the whole time. You know what? You're not like way off on that, because this is Song of Silveranth. And there is a mechanism, a song mechanism in this game. So there might be more singing than you expected when you came here. Okay. Let's see. Trujaban says, hello, Tom. Welcome to the Muppet Show, Human Edition. There we go. Let's see. What's that? Oh, what am I banning? Oh, I cannot say the word this. Okay. For 5 minutes, I cannot say this word. Is that the biggest box Red Raven has ever made? I believe so. Red Raven has made most of the boxes are that square size, and some have been deeper than others, especially thinking of Empires of the Void 2. It's a pretty deep box, but still square. Oh, there we go. Yep, biggest box yet. And I did talk to Ryan. He said, as far as things are looking now, this is the correct width. It may be deeper than this once the game is finished, but as far as width, this is the size. Oh man, the art is great. You got that pop of red over there. Wait till you see some of the art on the characters and the cards and the map. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to show it off. The only thing I'm sad about, honestly, which is a good thing to be sad about. I'll show you more about it in a little bit, but so we've got this giant world that we're going to be in the final game, but we only get to, as part of this preview copy, there are only 4 of these that I actually get to play around in. So there's so much more of the world to explore that I'm excited to take a look at eventually when the game comes out. Let's see. There's a lot. There's a lot to fit in the box. The biggest game yet, not just box size, but content-wise. So yeah, gonna be a lot to explore. Exactly. That's what Tom backs me up here. It's gonna be bursting with content, including secret envelopes. What is the release date? So, oh, look at that. What does that say? Silverfear gave out a community gift sub. Thank you so much, Silverfear. Let's give Silverfear a round of applause. Suitably confused the release date. So this is actually going to be going up on GameFound later this month. I don't have an exact date. Tom, if you do have an exact date, feel free to share that and I'll pop it up there. But I believe the actual publication year will be 2027. There's a lot of work has already been done on the game up until this point to get to where we can preview it and get a sense of the oh, here we go. As of now, GameFound goes live on November 3rd. So you can go. I meant to do a short link, or like a exclamation, a command. In fact, I'm going to do that right now, just because we're going to be talking about it. I'll post it here. If you want to go to that, you can check it out. You can follow the project. 25 days. Campaign launches in 25 days. Really quick, I'm going to make a command so that I can say, hey, if you want to learn more about this, just type this command in the chat and you will get that link, so I don't have to post it every time. Let's go to commands. We're going to add one. Add new. I'm going to need y'all to, oops, wrong one. I'm going to need y'all to test it for me. All right, somebody, let me make sure. Somebody type exclamation Raven. Somebody type exclamation Raven in chat. Let's see if that worked. Exclamation Raven. Board Game Bard is here. All right, there it worked. Thanks, Jack. Thank you, My Blue Heather. Thanks for giving it a shot. Board Game Bard is here. Hello, welcome. Glad you're here. And then we have nice silver fear, exclamation iron. Not quite. Time Roller, good to see you. Glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. Here in just about 10 minutes, we're going to pivot into our discussion, our official discussion and playthrough of Song of Silveranth. One more time, I want to, not the last time, but once again, want to shout out Red Raven Games. Thank you so much for sponsoring this playthrough, this stream, this promotion of Song of Silveranth and the campaign. This is your opportunity to ask questions about the game, see how the gameplay works out. Honestly, it's a good opportunity to see, because there are a lot of similarities between this game and the Sleeping God system, but there's a lot different. So it'll be a good opportunity for you to see what's similar, what's different, that sort of thing. But you know what time it is? It's actually time right now for our Battle Royale game that everybody can play. It's very easy. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to lift a finger except to enter your command, which is exclamation join to play the Battle Royale. Jack, that is sad, but I hope you can join us every chance you get. Play the Battle Royale. All you gotta do is type exclamation join. You will have a chance to just watch your automatically generated character battle for dominance on the field of flowers. Exclamation join. You know what? I'm gonna join this time. Both people, you can play on YouTube, you can play on Twitch. There you go. There are commands there if you want to use them, but you don't have to. Nishi's joining. Nishi's joining on both platforms. All right, let's get this game started. In 3, 2, 1, here we go. We got Great Nero already attacking Cosmic Beat. Jack just killed me! Come on, Jack. Board Game Bard's just saying, hey, give up already. You're gonna lose. My Blue Heather is coming to do some damage to Nishi. Board Game Bard, you better run, so you're gonna heal. Oh, you just defeated my Blue Heather! It's now Bard versus Cosmic Beat. And it is ranged versus ranged. Cosmic Beat's not looking, or Bard's not looking too hot, but looks like you're regenerating your health. You didn't even get the taunt. Let's see. It's not too late. Someone could jump in and potentially win. But now you've got 8 seconds left and you guys aren't anywhere near each other. I predict that Board Game Bard is going to be the winner. Oh, Board Game Bard with 3 knockouts. Congratulations, Bard. Well done, well done, well done. When was the last time you won? I think Cosmic Beat wants a rematch. We'll do one more. One more Battle Royale. The old runaway strat, yeah. We'll do one more Battle Royale, and then we'll jump into Song of Silveranth. Suitably Confused is joining. That's true, Jack. Jack says, yeah, but I killed Spencer, which is the real victory condition. Yeah. I'm not going to disagree with Tom's jumping in. Oren, over on Twitch or on YouTube. I'm gonna play one more time. All right, in 3. Oops, I'm gonna push enter. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. Let's see. You're fighting Oren. Oh, you just defeated Oren. Tom. All right. Look, better watch out though. My Blue Heather's following you. Cosmic Beat. Board Game Bard. A Board Game Bard is dead. I defeated Board Game Bard. My Blue Heather is looking for her next victim. Oh, is it gonna be Cosmic Beat? Who's it gonna be? I'm just. Oh, it's me versus Heather. Look out. Yes. Woo. Oh man, that was exciting. Now I'm just gonna run around. Victory lap indeed. My Blue Heather was defeated. What? 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't you dare. Look at that, 4 knockouts. Yeah. That's exciting. Give me a round of applause. Thank you, everybody. Oh, you can stop it. You can sit down now. You can sit down now. Hornist? What are you, rigged? You weren't even part of the competition. You don't get to comment on that. Good to see you, Hornist. That's right. That's the one. That's the one right there. Thank you, Silver Fear. The host is the killer. Oh, okay. You didn't mute me. All right, who's ready to check out the upcoming epic adventure game, Song of Silveranth, from Red Raven Games? Don't boo me. Boo earns. Okay. I just gotta move some stuff out of the way. Okay. Take a drink of water. We'll be talking a lot. And here we go. This is okay. All right, here we are. We have right here Song of Silveranth. You could pronounce it Song of Silveranth if you want, but I think the official pronunciation is Silveranth. Now, as I said, you're going to see some similarities between this and Sleeping Gods. It is another Atlas game that you are controlling a party of adventurers to basically, you've got an objective to solve. There's an inciting event that I'll read here in a little bit. And then you're going to explore, you're going to go check out locations, you're going to have encounters, all in the hopes of resolving this conflict that is brewing. What's a cool thing about this game that's different from previous of Ryan's open world games is you can't really lose. You never get to a point really where you're just you've died too much and you're out of the game and the game is just over. You may have an unfavorable ending, but you get to a point where you're going through the campaign, and because of what happens through the campaign, you're going to get to an ending. Hey, you're going to get to an ending that is, as a result of your actions. So you don't really lose. Let's say hi to everybody. Legends, hello Legends, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Really glad that you're here. Kozan, thanks so much for the follow. Welcome to Pieces on Pixels. We're glad you're here. Okay, so you've got characters. Now, in this game, someone always plays Ven. Ven is the main character of the story, but you will have other characters to choose from. And it's not like Sleeping Gods where you have to, let's say the Sleeping Gods original, you essentially have to, regardless of how many people are playing, you have to control 9 characters. This one's not like that. If you have 2 people, you play 2 characters. If you play solo, you still play 2 characters, but 2, 3, 4, you're just controlling 1 character per player. Again, unless you're playing solo. Let's take a look at the the starting playable characters that you have to choose from. As you play, you're going to unlock playable characters, which is cool. But starting off, again, somebody always has to play Ven. But you can't. You thought this was Joey? Somebody always has to play Ven. But the other characters can be chosen. I chose this guy because he just looks cool. I like him. But you've got Urzov that you can play as, Celeste, Nat, and Tag. And they all have different stats and different special abilities. But again, beautiful artwork. And I like Tag has his little squirrel friend. Now, as I was saying, you can choose from these, but there are also unlockable characters that through the course of the game you can unlock. Again, first of all, let me give a disclaimer here. This is a preview copy, so this is not finished. These are all, some of these are printed, some of these are handmade, so this is no way a reflection of the finished version of the game. Legend says Urzov could be Spencer if Urzov cleaned up his beard. Or if Spencer had hair, you know? He still has a pretty good head of hair on him. All right. When you play, you have some character cards specific to your character, but you also have some starting adventure cards that you're going to divvy up amongst the party. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle my decks here. And you have a hand of 5 cards per character. Shuffle it a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then also to start off, we've got some starting equipment. And now I'm going to equip that to my characters. Suitably Confused says, I'm starting to feel a real urge for an adventure game, and I think I might need one of the Sleeping Gods games until this comes out. Absolutely. If you want a starting point, I always recommend the Primeval Peril, which is the smallest version of Sleeping Gods to help you get a sense of the system. I played it a couple weeks ago. I don't remember if you were here for that or not, Suitably Confused, but I really like that one. But they're all great. Okay, so here are my options here. I've got a spear, some gloves, and these are all weapons and or armor. So I think, Ven has 11 health. Zernzig has 8. So I'm going to give Zernzig the armor. They have a weight limit. Who just subscribed? They call me Squids, a.k.a. the Great Nero. Thank you so much for the sub. Much appreciated. Then I'm going to give Zernzig a spear. I really like the combat system in this game, and I'll be happy to show off how that works. And then I'm going to give Ven this club as his weapon. And these are just extras that I could switch out eventually if I want to, but I'm not going to right now. Okay, we're getting close to starting. Also want to show off the miniatures. So this is the representative. This is the miniature that represents the party. I'm going to switch to this view, see if I can get a close-up look at it. Oops, almost. I'm going to, oop. It keeps wanting to focus on my face. There we go. Oh. Block my face. There we go. You get an idea of the miniature. So this one is representative of your party as you travel across the atlas. Now, there are opportunities to get to you're basically zooming in on the map to a location, and you open up a separate book that you will be able to further explore smaller locations. Speak to the hand. Yeah. I haven't gotten the hang of that focus, but in my video that I'm going to be doing my full preview, you'll have a better idea of what the menus look like. Yeah, so these are some samples. These are 3D printed, so again, they're not finished, but each of the characters will have their own miniature, but they also have standees, which are these. So you'll be able to play whichever one. So he's gonna, there's not a miniature yet for Zernzig, But I'm going to use the miniature for Vin, and I'll put the other two characters over here. Okay. So this is our hope board. This keeps track of our level of hope. It also is where we keep our event cards and our song cards, our spell songs. So in this game, you have the opportunity to sing a spell song, which gives you a benefit, but also can potentially make you go a little crazy because of the mental strain that you have in singing this song. So you've got this track down here that you can gather music notes to help you spend, or for you to spend to sing the song. But if you don't have music notes, you can move this cube on this track, and the further down this track you go, the worse of a penalty comes whenever you're doing tests or rolls. But I think that's enough kind of like of an overview of what's going on here. And then as the various mechanisms come up, I'll just explain them as it happens. First thing that we need to do, though, is read the opening story. So this way you know what is going on in the game. All right. One brisk morning, while working at the family glass blowing factory, uniformed soldiers trampled in with their muddy boots and arrested your father. He was hauled off to the debtor's prison with a massive sum of silver between him and freedom. Now the house, the family farm, and the glass blowing factory are under threat of being seized by the local lord. Financial hardship had plagued the family for years, but you had no idea the depth of the debt pit. You have but 60 days to find a solution, aided by old family friends, glassworks employees, and perhaps even unsavory sellswords from the nearest street corner. You'll never get enough money selling glass, though perhaps if you're desperate enough, you might make the journey north to the legendary Dragon of Havoc. I'm guessing that's this guy. Dragon of Havoc, a godlike being who sometimes grants aid to those of worthy heart. You unwrap your father's old dagger and saddle your horse, leaving the forge embers cold to join the uncertain path ahead. So there we go. That is what has happened. Dad's been taken out of prison. We got to make enough money to pay his bail, essentially. 600 coins. That's a lot. I think I need to get I got all the starting cards, but I don't have 130, 140. I need to find the, where it goes? The starting quest cards. So give me just a second. I think that's in the rule book, but I missed it. I guess I could look through this real quick. Hold on. 141, 145, okay. There are going to be 600 cards in this game. Let's see. Starting cards, 106 to 140. I think I got all of those. These are obviously not all of the cards. Okay, I got all of those. Oh, there we go. I missed it. It's on this page. It's cards 21 and 22. That's our starting quests. It's important to read all the pages of the rule book so you don't miss things. We have a question. Do you have a starting couch to check the cushions for coins? I like that idea. No, you don't. We start off with 0 money, but we do have some resources over here. We got acid, fruit, a torch, some mushrooms, some meat, and a rope. Those are our starting resources. Okay, so here are our 2 starting quests that are going to help give us some information on where we should go to begin with. So first of all, we've got this one. Father. My father, Lovend Emberk, has been taken to debtor's prison in Fang Fortress. Lord Mirek demands repayment of debts, a sum of 600 silver, or he will seize our family's farm and glassblowing factory in 30 days' time. My cousin Nat urges me to meet with Lord Mirek to ask for more time. He has a house to the southwest, outside of Muriel. Okay, so that gives us information. We could go southwest to find Lord Mirek. We're going to keep those over here. And then the other one says, my cousins Teg and Nat suggest that I seek out the legendary Dragon of Havoc for help. Their father Zolan searched for the dragon in his youth and may have information to help us find him. Zolan and my father haven't been on good terms for years. Pride may keep him from lending aid, but it couldn't hurt to visit. Zolan's home is to the northwest of Silvar in Berlorgian. You want to seek out Dragon of Havoc? That's what my Blue Heather wants to do. All right, if we're going to do that and get information from Uncle Zoland, it says to go northwest. Okay. All right. So we have two options to go. We also have some stuff over here to explore. Havoc and Chaos. Okay. That's what we're going to do. And please feel free at any time, if there's a decision to make, a choice to make, feel free to say, hey, let's do that. I may not always stop every time to ask for input, but please feel free to make some input. Okay. So, hello, Two Sheds. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Welcome to the stream. We're getting started right this minute. So, each time, as you're the active player, you get to choose if you're going to venture or rest. Now, most of the time, you're going to want to venture because that's where you get to do all the fun stuff. Resting is really almost like a if we absolutely have to kind of thing. So the first thing you do is you draw an event card. Here we go. We have abandoned supplies. Now, we have an option to do a crafting check. Now, one thing to notice about these is they have a symbol right here that tell you what kind of essentially location on the map you need to be at before you can attempt these. I'm not there right now. This is a waterfall. This is a tree. This is like a building type thing. So even if I wanted to, I couldn't resolve this event. So for now, it goes here. We have some locations right here already that we can explore. So I say before we go off on craziness, let's see what we can do. Now, after you do an event, you have the option to move up to 2 spaces. I'm not going to move. I'm going to stay here. And I'm going to do the encounter here at number 1. Notice how this location also has a bed. Every time you have an encounter, you explore a location with a bed, you put a check mark on it on your atlas, your little atlas here. And from that point on, every time you rest, you can fast travel to that location just from anywhere. It's no crazy mechanics. You just go there. You can choose, as long as you've explored them, you can choose to go there. So we're going to make a check there. And then we're going to read number 1. Number 1 in the book. Here we go. POV Ven. If you have the keyword crow, I don't have keyword crow. With your father gone and no money to pay the staff, the glassblowing factory is locked up and dark next to the old family house, both sharing an overgrown mane of ivy. So I can search the house cellar for supplies, or I can open up the glassworks. Supplies are important for an adventure. I don't know what would happen if I open up the glassworks. So, I think I'm going to search the cellar to get some supplies. So go to the next one. You find the stores mostly bare, except for the rats, but haul out an old cask hidden under a pile of straw. So I gain 1 ale, which is this guy. When you return to the yard, dark clouds have covered the sky and thunder rumbles in the distance. You almost drop the cask of ale when you notice a solitary figure standing in front of your house, waiting for you. Ooh. He's dressed in a weathered black suit, the waistcoat buttons tarnished and torn. but the most striking of his features is that his head is that of a crow's. Crowhead. His black pool eyes blink at you, and he bows slightly. Fate has sent me to help you. Do you accept? Asked the crow. Asked the crow man. All right, so our options are we can respond that we don't trust him, or we can accept his service. I mean, if he says fate has sent him to help, I think we should accept. You want to accept? All right. It's not a raven, it's a crow. Crow man. All right, we're going to accept his service. The crow man caws with delight. Ah, excellent! Let us seek our fortune together and perhaps free your father. Oh, we gained a character. So someone has joined our party. So we're going to gain the character Merkmark. This is Merkmark. And so now we can play as Merkmark. There's an option when you rest to swap out characters. So Merkmark has joined our party. He's a pretty cool dude. Look at that. So we add him to our stack of playable characters. And then it says gain cards 23. He is fancy. Look at that coat. We're getting cards 23. Crow. The crow man has visited me, saying that he was sent by fate. What he is or where he comes from, I am unable to ascertain. So that goes over here with our cards. And then 90 through 93. And those are Merkmark's character-specific cards. So if we do choose to swap characters with Merkmark, these would go along with that. So we're going to set these aside. All right. And then return to the Atlas. Hooray! That was an exciting first turn. I agree with you, Tom, that fast travel is such a game changer. It's very, very streamlined. All right, Merkmark joined a party. Okay, now in addition to choosing to explore a location, there are some minor actions you can do. Event actions. So this is going to be an event row that I need to manage. So if there's something up here that I can do, that's one thing. I can sing a spell song to give us some sort of bonus. So for example, this spell song says once per day, gain a coin. That's pretty powerful. But if I do that, I don't currently have any music notes. So I'm going to have to move this, and it's going to put me at a penalty already. And I don't want to do that this early. Market, if I had coins, I can visit the market and potentially buy some equipment. Or I could attack. Sometimes monsters will appear on the Atlas, and they're going to chase us, and we may want to attack them. So, but right now, again, there's nothing. So that's the end of the first day. Now, when you're playing multiple characters, every time you start a new day, you switch the active player. I've got a makeshift active player marker, but because it's just me, I'm going to continue. So we start a new day. I draw an event card. Injured Gremlin. Okay, it's an event action, but again, I'm not at the type of terrain that's there, so I can't do this even if I wanted to. I'd have to move first. We're in a pretty safe place, and I think before I move off of this space, I want to check out this little cottage over here. We're going to be going northwest because that's where we want to get some information about the dragon. So, but before we do that, I want to check out this location. So, or this storybook. You'll see what happens when you explore a location here in a little bit. But I'm going to go to number 3 in the storybook. Oh. An old woman struggles under a light bundle of sticks. padding toward her overgrown cottage with heavy steps. I do have a punch in here. So this is her cottage that she's heading towards. She says, "Have you seen any scorched animals around the forest?" she asked, obviously pleased to have an attentive audience. "You'd think the Tressemont army would have hunted them and killed them all by now, but the infection is spreading. Look for creatures breathing out long lines of black smoke. It means a demon is in their belly, making them serve the Queen of Ashes." Oh, so we're getting some lore here. The woman is suddenly overtaken by a fit of coughing. She croaks a request for water as you help her into a chair. "I've been like this since some scorched geese attacked me last week. I was walking north of the forest near a cave past the Cathedral of the Silver Watcher. The scorched curse will spread down here unless someone stops it. I pray to the Silver Watcher that someone will stop it." All right, so we have this threat of the scorched curse. Hey, look who it is. It's the most beautiful woman in the world. Hi, how are you? I hope you're doing well. My voice cracked because I've been talking like an old lady. Everybody say hi to Laura. So we've got a dangerous disease that's spreading. We're going to gain, as a result of helping this lady, we gain 2 hope, 1, 2, and 1 potion. Here is our potion. Thanks for the potion, lady. Laura, you can see on YouTube, but also you've got Great Nero, aka They Call Me Squid, saying hey. And we do have a fancy crow friend, yes. Okay, and it says return to the Atlas. We're back at the Atlas. Now, I think it's time to move away from this location. So we're going to go, well, first of all, the first thing we need to do is draw an event card. See what happens. Event action, Unlucky Towns Trader. All right, so again, we see I'm not at a location where I can do this action. We don't want this to get to 4 cards. When 4 cards are here, we lose hope. So we don't want to do that. But fortunately, here's what's going to happen. You want to see the crow friend? It's Birkmark. Love that name too. All right, now that I've done the event, I can move. So I'm going to move here because I want to show you guys what a location action looks like. Before we do that, you can see now I'm at a location where I can take care of one of these cards. Oop, we've got some glare. I'm only a little disappointed that he isn't a red raven. So I can either do this crafting challenge to get some resources, or I can do this medicine challenge to get some reputation. I want the resources, so I'm going to do this crafting challenge. Now, here's how doing a challenge works. You pick a character that you want to do the challenge. This is a crafting, so I would want to have a character that has the crafting skill. Ven has crafting +1, and Zernzig has crafting +2. So we're going to go with Zernzig. You take a D10, and you roll the D10, and you want the D10 plus your skill number to equal or exceed the number on the card. In this case, it's a 7. So I've got +2. I need at least a 5. I got a 6. I succeed. So I get a torch, a rope, and a music note. There's a question that, is there a Red Raven character in other Orion's games? There's not a featured character, but I think like some of the little ones that you can hire, maybe in like Islebound or Above and Below, look like a Red Raven. All right, there's the rope. And we get us a music note. There. All right. This card is dealt with, so it goes away, slides down, and I feel better about that. Okay, we've done a minor action. Now, Now I'm going to show you how you explore a location. So you've seen Storybook doing a storybook action here and here, but this one, it's got a little compass here. So that means we're going to actually get to explore this location that's on the map. So here we go. You remove the big miniature. We open up a new book to number 6. And here we go. Now, because we're going to be focused all in on this, I'm going to pop in here. Let's get this to where you can see the whole thing. Okay. Y'all are funny. Okay. So the first thing we do, we've got to do a little bit of setup. I've got a box of monsters, y'all. Look at this. Look at all these monsters. So first thing we do is we've got Wandering Urkling. Not Urkel, not Wandering Urkels. Oh, that would be kind of scary. And we have a little arrow symbol. So everywhere I see that, I'm going to put one of those. So he goes here. I'm actually going to tip him over so you can see where he's at. I got to put another one down. Though another Wandering Urkling here. And then we've got a Crimson Ogre. I put down everywhere there's a square. Now, there's some balancing here that happens. You probably can't see, but see underneath this triangle, there are a number of squares, and there are 3 squares there. So that means if I was playing with 3 players, I would put another Wandering Urkling down. And over here, if we're playing with 4 players, I'd put another Crimson Ogre. Thankfully, I don't have to add any additional monsters. Laura asks, is Tom here? Tom is over on Twitch. So he's watching on that side of the thing. Hornet says, Wandering Urkels was the name of my ska band in the 90s. That's good. Tom is in the chat on Twitch. Yes. When does Alfred Hitchcock show up in the story? I think it's on page 13. Tom, Laura says hi. Laura would like to say hello to you. So there she goes. Okay. So we put our miniatures or standees on this arrow. So I'm going to, again, tip them over so you can see. Laura, Tom says hello. That's Tom on Twitch. Lammy Rock 2. And look, Hornus says hello too. Okay. Let's read. We're at the Silveranth ruins. Thin mist caresses the lake, drifting over the island and the ruins at its center. Is that a dark figure among the jagged pinnacles? A whisper through delicate archways? Ooh, spooky. All right. So things shift a little bit once you get to a location. It is still considered the same day, but you have some rounds that you're going to repeat over and over again until you leave the location. We have a character phase and an enemy phase. The enemies are going to be chasing after me unless I do a stealth. Now, each character will take a turn, and you can try to perform a stealth check so that the monsters don't come after you. There are other things to do on the location. As you can see, you have got a lock picking opportunity here that I would get a card if I am successful. Over here, I do an endurance test to get a special card. So there are different resources over here that I might want to go after. But again, I've got to watch out for the monsters. So what I want to do first, if you were able to successfully perform a stealth check, they won't chase after you, and you can be left to your, your devices. I think the first thing I'm going to do, because I really want to see what's inside this chest. The first thing I'm going to do is for, who has a stealth? Do I have a stealth ability? No. Let me check my cards really quick. We've got some a recipe to heal, a bandage to heal, repairing, getting a resource. We've got that. Okay, and let's check Ven's cards. Maybe he's got something that will help with the stealth. No. I am going to do Ven's special ability here. Once per location, I deploy these tokens. One goes to a friend. These are little birds. And one goes to a friend to benefit them. Let me read this actually. It's in the book. Ven has 2 Sparrow Dragon tokens. Sparrow Dragons. Once per day, you may assign the blue Sparrow Dragon token to another character. That character deals +1 damage in each attack for the rest of the day. That's good. Ven can also assign the green Sparrow Dragon to an enemy. That enemy deals -1 damage for the rest of the day. I'm going to put that on him because he's going to deal -1 damage. That's good. And then he's going to be doing all the attacking, so he's going to assign this Sparrow Dragon to himself. All right, so back to, I think Zernzig is going to attempt to do a stealth check. So to do that, I roll this. I need to get a 6 or higher to be able to avoid the monsters. I got a 2. Now, Zernzig has a +1 to all of his skills, but that still makes it a 3. You know what? I didn't use the dice tray, so it doesn't count. It's still a 2. Okay. Fate will have it as the 2. So I fail, so I'm just not being stealthy. Well, that changes things. I don't want to go try to break open a chest while a monster is attacking me. All right, Zernzig's going to go for it. So he's going to go 1, 2. He's going to attack this monster. Great. This is an opportunity for me to show you how attacking works. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see the full dice tray. So you have equipment here. Let me come back real quick. And you choose what you're going to attack with, and it tells you, number 1, how many dice you're going to roll. So this says 2. And I start by rolling 2 dice. And I'm going to do it over here so that you guys can see how this process works. But later on, I'm going to move over to the dice tray. So the first thing I do is I roll 2 dice. So this is a little pressure luck mini game almost on how combat works. If you roll a 1, 2, or 3, it's considered a blunder die, and that goes over to this side. Okay? If it's a 4, 5, or 6, it's a success, and it goes over here. I'm not going to talk about blunder dice until that happens. So far, I have 2 hits on the monster, this guy right here. Okay? I can do critical damage on him if I get up to 20. Now, I've rolled 2 dice, and from now on, I can choose to either stop and accept what I've rolled, or I can roll 1 more at a time to continue to try to do better. But also remembering that if I roll a 1, 2, or 3, it is considered a blunder die. So let's roll the next one. It's a 5. That's really good. So I'm up to 17. 17 total. Remember, if I get a total of 20 on my pips, I get a bonus 2 for the damage. I'm going to roll another one. It's a 1. All right. So let's talk about what happens when you get blunder dice. These, you want them to total up to 20 or more so that you get a critical hit. These, if they get to total what the enemy's defense is, then your attack is considered a miss. Okay? So you can keep rolling dice, but if this number over here of your blunder dice ever equals the enemy's defense value, all of the success that you've made, all the successful hits you've made are actually misses, and you have to bow out of the combat. So I'm still safe because I'm not anywhere near hitting the 7, so I'm going to roll again. Okay, that's a 2. As long as I don't roll a 5 or a 6, I'm good. I think I'm going to roll 1 more. That's another one. Okay, I'm getting a little nervous because I've done well. I just haven't hit that. I just need a 4. If I rolled a 4, I can get an additional +2. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try one more. I'm going to roll it really well this time. A 1! Come on! Okay, now I should probably stop. Because I have a 50-50 chance of busting. So I stop. I take how many successes? I've got 3 successes. I didn't quite hit 20, so I don't get to do the bonus damage. So he's going to take 3 damage. 1, 2, 3, because I rolled 3 success dice. And you put your tokens down here with him. Now, because I didn't defeat him, these dice all go away. Because I didn't defeat him, he does his counterattack damage, which is 3. What I can do is I can block 2 of those because I have these gloves and they block 1 damage. Now, when you use equipment, you've got to put a token on it and it can't be used again until you rest. So I'm blocking 1 of those damages. And then this also has a block 1 as long as I'm successful with my attack. So I block 1, so I'm only taking 1 of his damages. And I put that on my character. Bye, Laura. Have a great rest of your day at work. Let's answer this quick question by YOLO. YOLO says, I know I'm probably jumping the gun here, but is all combat like this, or are there also separate combat encounters like there are in Sleeping Gods games? So that's going to be like one of the biggest differences is like with Sleeping Gods, you've got that grid of squares on the character, on the enemies that you're trying to fill up to ultimately defeat them. Then that's pretty much all combat in Sleeping Gods. There's nothing, at least as far as I've seen and from what I understand, this is the main combat system. Now there is an additional type of encounter you can have with an enemy called discourse, and you're basically in an argument with them, which is kind of fun. It works very similarly to that about the rolling dice and keeping or rolling and choosing to push your luck or not. And there's a little bit of difference. And again, hopefully we'll get to an opportunity where I can show you what the difference is. But ultimately, yes, this is the combat system. All right. So that was Zernzig's turn for the day. And now Ven is going to go. I think Ven could come over here and finish off this guy. So we're going to go 1, 2. I get a +1 because of this sparrow dragon thing that I have assigned to myself. Yellow says, thanks for that. I like the push luck system. It's super quick and doesn't feel like a side game. Yes, that would be if someone if found that was like too much of taking away from the main game with Sleeping Gods, this would be a bonus for you, or like a pro in the pro column of not having to set up a whole entire encounter kind of thing. And then Tom says, I love how simple the combat system is, almost as much as I love the push your luck aspect. Absolutely. I agree. I think it's just simplified, and that decision of should I roll one more, should I keep it, it can be tough to make sometimes, but we're doing it. All right. Ven is going to attack this wandering Urkling. Ven's going to use his club. Okay. And all of the weapons that you use are going to have different stats. Let me zoom in here again. So again, whereas the spear that Zernzig used, you start with 2 dice. The club that Ven is using starts with 3 dice. Okay. So we're going to start by rolling 3 dice. I'm going to use the dice tray for this one. All right, I've got a 5 and a 6, so we're 2 successes, and then we have a 2. So he has 3 damage, 1, 2, 3. We need to get him to 8 to defeat him, so he needs 5 more. I'm doing pretty good, so I'm going to roll another one. a 1. We're at a 3. Again, we don't want to hit a 7. Let's roll again. Do I have anything here that will help? No cards. 2, 3, 4. That's dangerous. As long as I don't roll a 3. 4, 5, 6. As long as I don't roll a 3, I'm gonna be okay. All right, do it. Okay, I'm gonna do it. A 6, yes. All right. So we're at 17. Let's do it. A 1. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. So that means I didn't bust because I'm at 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I have 1, 2, 3 successes. I still didn't quite hit the critical 20 that I needed to do an extra damage. But that's 1, 2, 3, and then because of my little token here, that's 4 damage to the Wandering Urkling. Wandering Urkling. Man, that's 1 away. Is there anything I can do to deal additional damage? Let's see. Whoops. One, 2, 3, 4. Now, here's something that might work. Okay, here we go. Oh, I didn't equip this torch. If I had equipped this torch, I could spend it to deal +1 damage. But I don't have any of that. Oh, you know what I could have done? Reroll a weapon die. I'm going to do it. I'm going to spend, what was that, the rope? To reroll a weapon die to see if I get another. So I had 6, 6, 5. I rerolled 1. So it's a 2. Okay, still bad. All right, I still didn't bust, though. Okay, well, we're just going to have to do that. So he does counterattack with 3. So he does 3 damage. 3 damage to Vin. 1, 2, 3. Sure. Okay. Now both characters have taken their turn for this sequence. And so then you go to the enemy phase. In the enemy phase, each enemy moves 1 space toward the visible heroes, and then they attack. Okay, he doesn't move because he's already here, so he's going to attack somebody, and they just deal the damage that their counterattack damage is. So that's going to be 3. And you can choose, if there are multiple characters in the space, you can choose who gets it. 8. I'm gonna put on Ven. Ven can take more. Okay. Then this guy moves 1, and then this guy moves 1. And they're getting closer. Now, a reminder that at any time, if I wanted to, I could try to do a stealth and get away from the monsters and go do other things. But you're always going to have that threat, especially if you fail the stealth check. So sometimes I think, this is how I've been playing this week, I think it's best to get the bad guys out of the way. Let me check my cards here. I'm currently engaged, so I can't play that card. Let's go ahead and have Zernzig finish off the bad guy. Okay? So we're going to follow the same process. We get 2 dice because he's using his spear. We're looking for 4s, 5s, and 6s. I've got a 6, I got a 1. I just need 1 success, so he's defeated. Okay, so he goes back in the big box of monsters. And then look at this. When you defeat this monster, you get a coin. So we now have coin. Hooray. If you defeat the monster, it doesn't do counter damage, so don't have to worry about that. Hooray, Zernzig. Good job. Zernzig's also going to use this bandage roll. It says restore 4 health to self or another character in your space when not engaged. So I'm going to discard that to show that I've used it. And then we're going to restore 4 health to Ven. Hooray! Okay. Ven's turn. I'm going to move this back. Ven's got a club. Oh, check this out. This is a cool card. Ven has a throwing knife. Okay. It says roll a d6. If 4 through 6 deal 2 damage to an enemy ranged. So this is an enemy that's in a different space. So we're going to play the throwing knife. I need to roll a 4, 5, or 6. Yeah! Got it. 2 damage to the Wandering Urkling. Here we go. Okay, so that card is spent. And then we're going to go ahead and, if I move here, then this guy's going to come over on his turn, and both of them will attack me. So that's not good. That's right, Two Sedge. That'll teach him for wandering. No more wandering for you, Urkling. All right, so instead of... I don't want to be double teamed by this guy. So instead of coming over here to attack, I'm going to run away. 1, 2. Do I want to run that far? You know what? First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a stealth check. So I need a 6 or more. I'm sorry. Wrong die. Oh, it was almost a 7! It's a 1. I failed. They can still see me. If I move here, you know what? I'm going to move over here. I'm going to try to crack this box, crack this chest open. Maybe there's something in there that will help. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how you do a lock picking challenge. So it's some more pressure luck type situation. Oops. Oh no, earthquake. And it's only up raised like this because it's on top of something else. If I had more table space, I would set this somewhere else, but this is where we're at. So he's over here. Stop sliding, Zernzig. Oh, you get the idea. Okay. All right, so here's how lock picking works. You're trying to get exactly 20 on your dice rolls, okay? So you want to, if you ever get over 20, you bust, and the lock becomes an impossible lock. You can't attempt to open it again until you leave and come back. You can try to break that, but it's a pretty difficult challenge. I'm not going to worry about that right now. So I roll 4d6. I got a 5 and a 4. Now, from this point, I can choose which to keep and which to re-roll. However, once you block a die, you can't unlock it. I'm going to keep the 5. I'm going to re-roll the others. Oh, that is so close. Suitably Confused says, is lock picking based on character skill, or can any character do it? Any character can do it, but you may also get equipment cards or adventure cards that help you pick better. But yeah, anybody can do it. So I've got a 5. This is risky. Oh. Here's the other thing. Because remember, you're trying to get to 20. So I have 12 plus 5, that's 17, and I've got a 2. So it puts me at 19. Now, it'd be very difficult for me to try to reroll something and get exactly 20. Now, you can always stop and use health to make up the difference. So it's like, your hands are getting hurt by trying to pick the lock. So because I'm only off by 1, I'm going to choose to get a health to make the total 20. So I lose a health, and it's now 20. I've picked the lock. This says gain card 30, so let me find that and see what we've got. Ooh. I have found a Midnight Cloak. So it's a piece of armor. While equipped, +1 stealth. All right, that's pretty cool. It also gives me a little bit of armor. So it's kind of an invisibility cloak. However, you can't equip equipment while you are in a location, so I have to set this aside for later. But I need to remember that for next time. Okay, so both my characters have acted, and now it's the monster phase, enemy phase. So this dude moves over 1, and this dude moves over 1. All right, now it's time to do some battling. Let me look at my cards again. So +2 movement or that. Ooh, 3, 2. That's good. 1, 2. All right, we're going to start with Zernzig. Zernzig is going to attack the Wandering Urkling with his spear. We roll 2 dice. We're looking for 4s, 6s, and 7s. We've got a 6 and a 2. Got 2, 6. All right, I'm going to roll another one. There's another 6. We're at 12. So that's 2 hits so far. If I can get this to 20 or more, I get an additional 2 damage for a critical hit. Let's roll another one. Oh, there's another 6. Woo! If I can just roll 4, I'm good. Or I could keep rolling if I wanted to. There's a 4. There we go. There we have it. That deserves one of these. Not that one. Okay. So, here's what happens. I could stop, okay, and take what I have. How many hits is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I hit 20 or more, that's 4 plus 2, so that's 6, 7, 8. Okay, he's dead. He's dead if I leave it there. If I wanted to, I could technically keep going. You can keep rolling dice up to the total number that the game provides, which is 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's the max you could ever roll. But again, it'd be pretty difficult to get all successes if you tried, but there is a limit on how many you can keep rolling. But I don't need to roll anymore because I've rolled enough to defeat this guy. So good job, Zernzig, with your spear. And because I defeated him, I don't take any counterattack damage. He goes away, back to his box. And I get a coin as a reward. It's like a reward. Okay. Now Ven is going to go, and I have a feeling this is going to be a pretty epic turn. Oh, yeah. So Ven's going to go. He's not even going to try to be stealthy because he wants to tackle this Crimson Ogre here. Crimson Ogre has 12 health, 7 defense, and 4 counterattack / attack damage. 1, 2. It's worth it. Okay. So we got some cards we're going to play. First one is 3 damage to the enemy that has this token assigned to. So we're automatically, without even doing anything, going to do 3 damage to this Crimson Ogre. Okay. Then I'm going to play this. No, not yet, not yet, not yet. Now I'm going to attack Crimson Ogre. Remember, I get a +1 because of the little bird that I have. I'm going to roll 3 dice. 1, 2, 3. Got 2 successes that total 10. Then we've got a 1. Okay, let's roll again. A 1. Let's try that again. A 2. 2, 3, 4. As long as I don't roll a 3, I'm safe. You can, it's got pushed over a little bit. At any time you roll, you can spend 3 hope to re-roll any die. Your hope meter, if it ever gets down to 0, it forces you to rest. So you want to keep your hope up. But sometimes re-rolling is a good option. I'm gonna go ahead and roll another die. A 1. So far, I've done 2 damage to it. I think I'm going to roll another die, knowing that could potentially re-roll it. So let's give it a shot. A 5, that's good. Do the same thing. 10, 15. If we can just get another 5 or a 6, that would be awesome. There's a 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to spend 3, 1, 2, 3 to re-roll that die. It's a 5, done. Boom. So that's 20. 3, 4. I'm not going to risk it anymore. So it's 4 damage, 4, 5, 6, or sorry, 4 plus my 1 here, so that's 5. I've got a, where's my, there it is. 5 right there. 5, 6, 7, 8. We're still short by 4, but that's okay. All right. Wait, no, that was 4, 5, 6 because of the critical. There. Okay. Now he counterattacks. That does 4 damage. You know what? My club has knockback. Has the knockback attribute. If you deal damage to an enemy, also move them 1 space. Move them before they counterattack. Okay. So I don't take counterattack damage. Then he does his turn, which is to move to me. Because I chose for him to move to me, because the distance was the same. Now he's going to deal 4 damage. However, I'm going to play this card, which says block 4 to the character that has that token assigned to it, which is Ven. So I don't take any damage from him. The card is discarded. Also, one thing I forgot, you're supposed to redraw. As you play cards, you're always supposed to have a hand of 5, and I've been forgetting to do that. At least until your hand is full. Or at least until your cards are gone from your draw deck. You don't shuffle your cards back into your draw deck until you rest. 1, 2, 3. He should have another card. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. All right. It's new sequence, new turn, if you will. And I'm just going to keep... Oh, you know what? He could come over at an attack. No, I'm just going to keep attacking with Ven here. So he's at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I only need 3 more. Easy. Easy. So we're going to use the club again. Roll 3 dice. All successes. That's it. I don't need to do anymore because that's 3 hits on him that defeats him. He's dead. All right. We've taken care of all the enemies. He goes back. Damage goes away. And when you defeat him, you get a coin. We made 3 coins off those monsters. He's taking his turn already. Also, when you do one of these little location things, you're supposed to put a cube on there to remind you that you can't do it again. You still have a turn to do. So he's going to go 1, 2. Notice how there's an interaction thing here. So I'm going to use my action for this particular turn to get a coin. Because I've done it and can't do it again, let me put a cube here. Now it is the enemy phase, but there are no enemies because I defeated them. So we go back to, we can do this as long as we want, and then we just leave. That's the cool thing about these locations. Sometimes you'll get into a bind where you're like far away from the entrance. Doesn't matter. When you're ready to leave, you just leave from wherever you're at. Okay, you've gone. I'm going to come over here. This rose looks important, but I don't have a medicine skill. Oh, you know what? I'm right here already. I have an endurance +1. This is an endurance check. Let's zoom in. This is an endurance check of 9. Now you see this little symbol here? This means that if you fail, you can't try it again. Okay, I'm going to try an endurance check of 9. I have a +1. Okay. This is tricky. I need at least an 8. Let's see what I can do. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do I have any cards that will help? I could get it up to an 8. 3. I don't know if that card's worth. Yeah, I think I'm just out of luck. Let me double check my items here. Can any of these help? Reroll a weapon die or +2 endurance. No. I've got an ale. I've got a potion. Restore 5 health. Wow. Nope. Nothing that's going to help me. So I failed this test. I'm never going to know what card 31 is unless I come back. So we can't try that. That's sad. Okay. New day. This rose is important because if I get this blood rose, it's +3 to any skill. So he's going to come over here and do a medicine check. I get a +1 to all my skills. This is a 6. I need at least a 5. A 3! What is going on with the 3s? Well, I have missed the rose too. I could re-roll it if I wanted to, if I spent 3 hope, but I don't want to do that. Okay, and then Ven's going to come down here and just pick up this mushroom. Put a cube there to show that we've been there. It's a new round. We're going to go 1, 2. Doesn't really matter because I can't do anything there. And Ben's going to go 1, 2. And we're going to try a senses check to get this cup. All right. No 3s this time. Got a 2. That's so much better. But what I am going to do is I'm going to spend this card. If I lose 1 hope, I can add 4 to any skill. 4 + 2 is 6. I get this chalice. What does that do? -1 hope and ignore enemy attack. Okay, that could come in handy. Okay. So I've done everything that I can do at this location. Now, again, you don't have to like exhaust it all. You can leave at any time. But I have exhausted it all. So we're done with this location. I remove my little individual, standees. And that is what a location encounter looks like. Now, if you notice, there's one over here. There's going to be several throughout, and this book is going to be pretty large, but Here's an idea of what some of the different locations may look like. I don't know if we'll get to any more as we play, but just a little glance at what some of these like. Look how intense they can get. So very diverse locations. All right, we're back to the Atlas, and we're here. And that was all one day. That was quite a day, quite eventful. Let me take a drink of water here. Any questions right now as we play? Y'all have been asking questions. That's been great. YOLO says, seems like the zoom ins, the locations like I just showed you, always have enemies. Would you say that's true? Well, let's see. Enemy, 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 enemy. In this, what I have here in this preview copy, seems there's some severity of enemies, as you might say. Some may have 3, some may have 1. But again, that's just a fraction of what the final game is, so I can't speak for the entire game. But at least in this version, there are enemies on the locations. Okay. Good question. All right, back to looking for information on the dragon from our uncle. Now remember, we need to go northwest in Berlorgian. I love made up and creative names because it's always fun to try to pronounce them. So because we need to go northwest, obviously that's this way. Because this preview atlas is not finished, if you see a dot here, that means I can't go there because that portion of the atlas isn't finished. But what I'm looking for here is a number. So right here, this is a 5. So yeah, let's go that way. We got to go west, and then we can go north. So I turn to page 5, which is over here, and I can choose... Oops, I'm sorry. I forgot at the beginning of this turn to draw an event card. Potion Seller, event action, okay. Now I move. That's fine, okay. I can choose to land here or land here. Because I'm trying to go northwest, I'm gonna land here. We're swimming in a lake. So I can do one more space. 1, 2. Let's go here. That way we can do a storybook encounter. We can also do one of these event actions. So I can I want to do this one, which is, you can only do 1 per day. I'm going to do this one because it's going to give us some money. Any 3 resources for 5 coins and a music note. But I like all my resources. Okay, we're going to do this one instead. So we're going to spend a coin and an apple, fruit, to get a potion and some acid. Potions are great. They restore 5 health. And acid is good. I forgot about this. You can use acid to open a lock without doing the lock picking challenge. There's another one in here somewhere. There it is. And a music note. Bye, legends. Have a great day at work. Thanks for hanging out. Okay. I'm going to do a spell song, everybody. This is a good question. It seems like you have a lot of resources available to you. Are they easy come, easy go? Um, as you can see, like some of these events, like these 2 events that I've done, by doing the events, I got resources. So, but that's just what I've happened to draw. I know from my playthroughs of the game, not all of these cards give you options for resources. Also, I just picked up a lot from that location. So I think it just depends on how much exploring you're doing, and again, how much you're spending them. I know one of one of my flaws when I play games like these, when you have like a lot of diverse resources, is I forget that I have them, and I forget that they're really good. And I forget what their uses for. So I'm really thankful for this card that does a great job of just breaking it down. Like, let's see, like I could do a potion to restore 5 health. What I may do instead, I'm going to use this recipe. Nope, I can't do that because I don't have. Oh, it says 2 or 3 of these. So we're going to use this recipe here. Spend a mushroom and a meat to make this meager supper to heal 6. Between the 2 of us, we've got 4. So we're removing that, and we're back to full health. And then I draw another card. Okay. So I did an event action. Now let's come over here. Here's something that's interesting. So when you see this reminder that when you see this bed, that means that when you have a storybook encounter there, you can check that off on the map, and it's a fast travel location for the future. But also, if you see this little vase, you can go to the market. And you know what? We don't have very much money right now, but I want to do it to show you guys how that works. We may not be able to buy very much, but we'll see. So we're here in this same location. Let's go to storybook number 22. We haven't done one of these in a while. All right. Cradled between wildwood and the waters that pour down from Tress Falls, which is up here, the aptly named hamlet of Tressfall is unexpectedly sleepy despite its proximity to King Phileas' seat of power. The castle is perched far above, so way up here, out of view for right now, staring down like a watchful owl. All right, so here are our options here at Tressfall. We can stop by the provisioner for supplies. We can try our hand at poaching. Or we can search for anyone who might owe a debt to the kingdom. That requires keyword bounties. We don't have that keyword, so I can't do that action. So we can try our hand at poaching or stop by the provisioner for supplies. Am I in a poaching mood right now? I'm curious. Let's see what happens when we go poaching. Okay. Father insisted that poaching is for blackjays and crooks, but you've always felt the call for the hunt. The woods around Tressamut Castle are the personal preserves of King Phileas, and the aging monarch doesn't get out much anymore. What could go wrong hunting in the shadow of the castle? No. Within minutes, everything goes wrong. Barks and shouts rebound from the trees. The game warden is after you with all his hounds. What have we done? So I can head downhill, dodging trees in an effort to put some distance between me and the warden, or we can head uphill toward the stream, hoping to throw off the hound's scent. Or are you simmering meat slowly? Senses or endurance. I've got endurance +1. This is +1 to all skills. Let's see. Oh, I get it. Poaching and water. I get it. Good one, Two Sheds. Senses. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I have a card. You said streams don't throw off Hound Sense. Do the downhill. Okay, that's good. That's what I was going to do. Okay. And we're going to have, when you come to a challenge like this, unless it specifically says a character's name, you can choose which one to do the test. So I'm going to choose Zernzig because he's got +1 to all skills. We're going to roll the die. So I need a 5 or more to be successful. So I need a total of 6. I got a 5! Woo! Hooray. Oh, have the Birdman just fly away. That's not an option. I passed. I'm going to play this card. When Zernzig succeeds at a stealth or senses challenge, gain 3 coins. Woo! 2, 3. Got some more money. All right. Turn to 22.3. You run for what feels like an eternity, dodging branches and taking care not to shatter your legs. Ouch. At last, you spill from the forest, free of the hounds and the game warden. Your only reward is a valuable moral lesson that father always tried to instill, but never got through your thick skull until this very moment. Poaching is bad. Return to Atlas one space south of Tressfall. Hey, it's Gator Dave. Hey, Gator Dave. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Just tried my hand at poaching. Didn't go well. So I had to escape, and now I'm down here. And now I can't visit the market like I wanted to. Lesson learned, don't go poaching. However, rabbit attacks Spencer. Yeah, might as well. However, I did have a storybook encounter at Tressfall, so I can check it off on this map, which means I can fast travel there in the future. Do I have any? I can't do this. Sing a spell song. Ooh. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sing a spell song, everybody. I'm going to pay 2. So I'm going to sing this spell, which is called Glittering Air. So here we go. Let's sing the Glittering Air spell song. Glittering air, when you walk, you will find spare change. So that's the coin, or that's the song, because once per day I gain a coin. Okay, it costs 3. So I spend 2 music notes and I move this up by 1. No negative effects yet. This is 1 day, so I gain a coin. All right, new day. Remember, we're trying to get up here, up north. So I'm going to move back here, but I'm going to stop. We're going to have before I do a storybook encounter, I want to, or before I do, before I do the storybook, you never know what's going to happen. I'm going to do the market action first. Oops, I didn't draw this. Toss a coin to you, Spencer, of Valley of Plenty. I wish I remembered the tune, but I get what you're saying. That's a good song. Okay, before I move, I'm supposed to draw an event. Okay, this is a farmer in need. Am I at any of these? No, I can't do any of these. This is bad. Okay, you're about to see what happens when you get 4 cards here. Unless, so I go here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a market. So we go to the market. Oh, this is a new turn. New day. Get a coin. So do a market. When you do market, you draw 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You buy as many as you can afford or as you want. Okay. We've got a spear. A shield. That's pretty good. It's 3 defense. I'm liking that one. Not interested in that. We've got another one. Oh, this is 4, but it's 9 coins. That costs too much money. We've got a Salier Halberd. That's 12 coins. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Definitely don't have enough for that, but that's very, look at that. You roll 4 dice plus 3 damage. Armor. And then we have some of these. These are going to be, these improve our skills. Plus 3 crafting or remove a disrepair token from your armor. Or plus 4 scholarship. I can't get it all. We're going to buy these 2 things. We're going to get the Tinker's Toolkit and the Buckler. Whatever you don't buy goes into the archive box. I can't get a chance at buying it again. So, okay, so I have 8 coins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all my money. 7, 8. I'm going to equip these things. This is going to go with you. And then don't forget about my cloak that I got. You've got hands. We're going to give you this buckler here. And we're going to give you the midnight cloak that helps me with my stealth. Okay. Then I'm going to do an event action. I'm going to help out the farmer in need. Notice I am at the right type of location to do this. So I need to do a medicine 7 skill test. Am I having medicine ability? No. When not at a location, remove 1 disrepair. That's pretty risky to roll a 7 without anything to help. If I fail, nothing bad happens. I might as well try. All right, we're going to have Zernzig try it because he's got +1 to all skills. So I need a 6 or more. I got 2. So I failed. I just can't try again. Sorry, farmer. I didn't help the farmer. Okay, now let's try storybook encounter number 11. A woman in clogs hurries up the path, clutching a small child. Time has worn her face and taken the color from her hair. "We can't let go of children around here," she says, nodding toward the misty edge of the forest. "The tarnished fairies take them away." She rocks the child as it lets out a sudden cry, as if the babe could feel the tug of little fairy hands on its ears and hair. "They take them to another land. It happened to Sukra the hunter." We can visit Circa. We can visit Circa. Do we have child or time? No. Or we can ask around for rumors. Let's visit her. Let's visit Circa. All right. Circa's house lies at the edge of the village. When you arrive, you find her busily packing. "Who are you?" she snaps, barely sparing you a glance beneath loops of brown wild hair. You explain that you were told the fairies took her child. "It hasn't been long, and I'm off, and I'm going to get him. I'd kill every one of those hell-spawned fairies if I could," she says, tossing aside a musket. "But the devils are too fast and too many. I need something to trade. They like tarnished relics, but I don't have any. Meet me at the forest pond with 2 tarnished relics if you've come to help. I can't promise any monetary reward, except a tale about something I found when I was out hunting." All right, so we gained card 44. All right. Circa, a hunter from the village of Tressfall, confirmed that her child was kidnapped by tarnished fairies. She said to meet her at the forest pond with 2 tarnished relics to trade with the fairies. She promised to tell us about something she found when she was out hunting if we help. Okay. Well, we have one. We've got one relic, so we don't want to spend these. If we get another, we can come over here and help her out. So let's keep an eye out for another tarnished relic. All right, that's the end of that day. Some of these cards, yeah, none of those. That's the end of that day. New day, we draw an event card. Mushroom hunting. I can't do that here. That's okay. We're going north because we need to ask about their dragon. So we move 1. And let's go ahead and move 2. This is a location we can explore. I'm gonna skip that one for now. We're gonna go up to 15. So we turn to page 15. By the way, these are not finished. So if you see art, it's like, that doesn't look finished. It's because it's not. Turn to page 15. Here we are. Here's the castle that person was talking about. Yeah, it looks great. Even the unfinished artwork looks better than anything I could do. So, let's review what this says. Their father Zolan searched for the dragon. Blah blah blah. Zolan's home is in the northwest in Berlorgian, which is over here. All right, so over here somewhere is Zoland. Okay. I'm interested to find out what's going on about the dragon. So let's come over here. This looks like a field. This is the town. Let's go to the town. Wait, how many spaces is that? That was 1, 2. Okay, so it's a new day. Can I do any of these? No, I can't do any of these actions. So we draw a new day. We draw. Oops, I've been forgetting to get my coins. It's 2 coins, 2 days. No, that was just. Now it's a new day. New day. Got my coin. I draw a new event, which means this one's discarded. And when that happens, we lose a hope. So again, you're trying to manage these cards as best you can. But we have something bad that just happened. A lizard wolf has shown up. So monsters can not only attack you, enemies can not only attack you at a location, but they can also follow you around the map. So we have a lizard wolf here. This changes everything. So we got a lizard wolf. Place on your location at the end of each turn, move 1 and attack. Okay, I'm gonna put it like that so you can see him. It goes up here in our row. It says we can attack him, or for an event action, we can just do a stealth check and just get rid of him. Rolling Reggie, hey Rolling Reggie, good to see you. I'm about to fight a lizard wolf. Maybe. I may just try to sneak away. He's 7, 5, 3. If we attack him, we get a coin. But also, oh, we did get a bunch of new equipment. Not a bunch, but let's see. What do I want to do? Oh, you know what? It's a stealth check, and Zernzig has illusion magic. Automatically succeed at a stealth challenge. I'm going to do that. So we're going to do this event action. We're going to do a stealth challenge. We automatically succeed. Enemies discarded. And we get +1 hope. Bye-bye. We just snuck away. We used Zernzig magic to, like, tiptoe away from the monster. Okay. All right. So we've done an event action. Now we're going to go over here to Berlorgian. Okay. I'm doing number 16. So I can check that off here as a place to potentially fast travel to. And we're going to read number 16. Is this where we need to go? Let's find out. Somber priests, bored soldiers, and worried villagers crowd the Berlorgian town square. We can either visit my uncle or visit the inn across the street. We're going to visit my uncle. 18:1. Here we go. You knock at your uncle Zorlin's house at the edge of town. You haven't seen him for a few years, and when he answers the door, his exaggerated eye roll does more than enough to tell you how eager he is to see you. With a gruff nod, he beckons you inside. Your father brought this on himself, you know, he says, returning to a well-worn armchair surrounded by piles of dishes and a mountain of books. A few dim shafts of sunlight are all that light the room, the sun barely passing through dingy glass windows. I told him to stop borrowing when the glass trade was getting worse. I told him to let go staff. I told him to stay out of that other business. And now you've come to borrow money from me to get him out of prison. Is that it? Well, I don't have it. I can barely keep food on my own table. You tell him you haven't come for money, but that you seek the Dragon of Havoc. Zolan laughs heartily. Ho 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 ho. The Dragon of Havoc? To solve all your problems? There are many who sought the dragon. More worthy and desperate were their causes than yours, and most of them died in the journey. You tell Zolan that you're not afraid. Ha! If that be the case, then I'll tell you what I know. Yes, I sought the dragon, but I found something else. Someone else. Here he stares at the dust dancing in the dim sunlight. If you seek the dragon, first speak to Ivana, a young oracle. She lives in a tower west of Larka village. Before sending you on your way, Zolan gives you an old book bound in worn leather, telling you to read it. You'll need this. All right, we're gaining cards 17 and 60. Archive card 22. So we take card 22 and put it in the archive. Don't need that anymore. All right, what was that? 17 and 60. Card 17 is... Classical Doctrine. And card 60 is Oracle. All right, this says, my uncle Zolan told us that if we seek the Dragon of Havoc, we should ask a woman named Ivana where to search. She lives in a tower to the west of Larka village, which is north of Berlorgian in the Unlucky Village's territory. I don't want to live there. Who would want to live in the Unlucky Villages? Now, I can already tell that this is going to be a quest that we're not going to be able to complete in this playthrough because it's further north, and that's not one of the atlases that's finished. But that is an option eventually in the finished game. Okay, we also have this Classical Doctrine, which is a philosophy. I hope we get to an encounter where I can show you how discourse works. 3 plus 1, 3 plus 0. We're going to give this to Zernzig. All right, let's make some stacks here. This is going to go here. And then this will go here. I'm running out of cards, and even though I'm pretty healthy, it might be time to rest soon so I can get my cards back in my hand. Before we do that, it's a new day. So I draw a card. I get my money because of the song that I'm singing. Remember? The glittering air. Forest fruit. Let's see. Let's go ahead and do a rest. Well, hold on. I already did an event. Let's not do that just yet. What am I? I'm there. Oh, let's check out the castle. That looks pretty cool. So we're going to go 1, 2, and do storybook number 19. All right. Soldiers march up the road toward the western wall of Tressamut Castle, their faces grim beneath well polished helms. We can follow the soldiers or linger near the castle. I like lingering. Lingering can be pretty fun. All right, so we're going to linger. As you linger near the lower castle or the lower entrance of the castle, a scullery maid waves from a high castle window. When you wave back, she tosses down a letter. Gain quest 46. All right, new quest. Keyword love. Let's see what this says. A scullery maid tossed us a letter sealed with red wax from a high window at Tressamut Castle. This is what it says. Dearest Tomer. Oh. Dearest Tomark, I can't wait to see you again. I wish we could meet at our hiding place in the forest above the castle, but my father has me under constant guard now that they know I've been sneaking out. I wish there was something I could do to escape with you. Send me a reply as soon as you can. With love, your princess. Ooh, princess. Forest above the castle. So that's up here. Where is this guy? Where's Tomark? We're going to put this over here with our active quests. Okay. We can do this. Do I want to really get rid of 3? Oh, am I in a forest? No, I'm not in a forest. Any three resources. That's so many. What's a barrel do? +2 hope. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this event action, which is I'm here, so I can discard any 3 resources. I'm going to discard 1, 2, 3. Everything I got a duplicate of. All right, I get 5 coins and a music note. And that is dealt with. Okay. New day. So let's check out what it's like to fast travel or and rest. So when you rest, the first thing you do is you discard 3 cards from the top of the deck. Now this deck serves essentially as your timer in the game. You start with 50 cards, and remember that each day when you're traveling around, you discard a card or you draw a card. So if you're going to go based off of that, that's like 50 turns. But then when you rest, you've got to discard 3. So that shortens the amount of time you have. But also, some quests that you do and some storybook encounters that you do are going to add cards to your event deck. So you never really know how much time you have when you play a campaign of this game. So I think that's pretty cool to have that. It's never the same every time you play. Okay, so we do 3 cards. Then we can move to any of the rest locations that we've been to. I think I'm just going to go ahead and jump down 1 page to page 5, back to this little town down here. Tressfall. Okay. And then, what is that? Oh, normally you'd heal. I don't have to heal. This comes back to 10. You could, at this point, swap out characters. Now, you may want to do that if your character's starting to look bad, because here's what happens, something that I haven't had to encounter yet. If you ever get enough damage to equal your total here, 11, 8, you gain one of these affliction cards. And it'll say, when you gain this, restore 6 health. So you do that. If this is your 4th, you die. So you want to not get affliction cards. But also when you have an affliction, you have a negative effect, long-lasting effect. So this says you cannot reroll lock-picking dice. So obviously you want to avoid that. But if you ever get to where you have lots of afflictions and your character is just no good, or your character dies, this is the point where you would swap in new characters. But we're not doing that right now because I like what I've built up with Zernzig here. And then, what is that? I need a refresher. On rest. I don't rest very often when I play, so I need a refresher. Do that. All characters now return any spell songs they've activated to the spell song deck. Okay. Oh, also, that's right. Reset hope marker. Did that. Okay. So this spell song goes back. We shuffle it. And now we have an opportunity to get other spell songs. There's a way to sort, like if you don't like the spell song that's on top, you can spend something to go to the next one. But I've never needed to do that because I always like what's on top. Okay, and then you take your spent cards, shuffle those up for each of your characters. Basically resetting your decks. Draw a hand of 5 for each character. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there we have it. Oh, and then my equipment has been repaired. There we go. Okay. I thought, let me double check something, everybody. So 1 second. Bear with me. I'm looking into the spell song, mind songs track. I think that resets when you rest. Hell, repair armor card, set hope marker to 10. After resting, characters reset this to 0. Okay. So this goes back down to 0 as well. All right. Now we continue. Draw an event. Oh no! It's a Scorched Soldier. We got a bad guy. Place on your location. At the end of each turn, move 1 and attack. Okay. Oh, look what happens if we defeat him. We get one of these guys, which is what we need for that other quest. A cursed relic. All right, we need to defeat this guy. I'm gonna find him. There he is. Scorched Soldier. He's right here with us. So before we do anything, I want to attack this guy. I want his rewards. At the end of a turn, if you have... We don't have that. Okay. Let me look at my cards. Got soup, +3 crafting, meat. We've got 4 health. We got a healing. Got that. Automatically stealth. Okay, none of those help me. When you have combat on the Atlas, it works pretty much the same way as whenever you do it at a location. Just some of the other little rules apply, like you don't do knockback because you're like in this giant region. Also, ranged isn't applicable because we're right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this throwing knife at him. I'm gonna throw this. Roll d6. I need a 4 to 6, 4, 5, or 6, 4, 5, or 6. A 1. Let's re-roll that. 1, 2, 3. 2. Well, okay. Nothing bad happened. Nothing good. It can only good happen. Sorry. Nothing bad happened, but nothing good happened either. Okay. But now we're going to attack. We'll start with Ven. Ven rolls 3 dice. Okay, so we've got a 2. We've got 2 successes over here. His defense is 6, so it's a lower number. A little bit more risky. Let's roll another one. A 1. I do have some armor. He does 4 damage. 2, 3. As long as I don't roll a 3, we're safe. A 6. There we go. I'm going to roll again. A 2. Okay. Well, I'm going to stop there. So I've got 1, 2, 3 successes. I didn't get to 20, so I didn't do a critical hit, but I do 3 damage to him. That's not very much. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then he deals 4 damage to me. Hey, Chris, good to see you. Thanks for being here. So I have 1 block that I can use for my armor. So, but I still take 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. And then Zernzig is going to do the same. We roll 2 dice. I'm going to put this over here so you guys can see. The spear. Zernzig rolls 2 dice. 1 success, 1 blunder. Another blunder. Man, that's definitely a blunder. That's a 6. I would need to not roll a 2 or 3. So 1 in 3 chance of missing. I'm gonna try. Okay. All right, I didn't miss. So I just do 1 damage to him. I'm gonna block 1 with my gloves here. By take 3. 1, 2, 3. Oops, wrong one. Did I give him? That was 1, 2, 3, and then 1 from that. Okay. And then he attacks. So it does 4 damage. I'm actually going to have him attack Zernzig. So Zernzig can use his shield. So he blocks 3 of it, but takes 1. All right. Now, you only get to do that each day. So it's a new day, technically. Traveling brewer. Actually, this is over here, technically. So we've added a 4th. This one discards. this is technically here. Put that there. And then this goes down 1. That's right, Roll and Reggie. Spam Laura emotes so she knows we miss her. Okay. So we're going to keep attacking. Because I really need that thing. Okay. I forgot that about these little tokens. So 3 to assign, I'm going to assign this to him. I'm going to assign this to Zernzig. Each day I can do that. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attack with my club. I roll 3 dice. Ooh, that's bad. That's 2 blunders. What can I do? Roll a weapon die. I've got to roll. Can re-roll a weapon die. Oh. Damage when attacking. I've got that. We're going to spend a rope to re-roll one of these dice. Oh, it was so close. I blame the person who made this dice tray, because that was going to be a 6, and then it turned into a 2. So I can only explain that by a manufacturing error. Okay. So I'm gonna have to stop there because I don't want to bust, because if you bust, you don't deal any damage, and you still get hurt. All right, so I succeed, but I only deal 1 damage. That's pretty pitiful. All right, and then I take 4 damage from him. I'll put this down. Oh, but you know what? I do one fewer because of the token that's on him. So I only take 4. No, I only take 3. Reminder that he's got this token, so he does 1 less. All right, Zernzig's turn. Oh, you know what? We're also going to spend this card, which is 3 damage to the enemy that has that token. So that's 3 more. 1, 2, 3. I'll take 2 and put a 5 here. So we got what? 5. I have this on the wrong thing. 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need 5 more damage. Okay, Zernzig, you're up. Roll 2 dice. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. This one. Roll 2 dice. 3 and I immediately failed. Golly, I can't do that. 1, 2. I'm gonna spend 3. 1, 2, 3 to re-roll 1. It was a waste. Come on. Okay. Sometimes things are just bad. Okay. So I don't deal any damage. I'm also vulnerable. What does that mean? Vulnerable. You take extra counter damage if you miss. Okay. So I take 5 counter damage. That's going to get... Ooh. Oh, wait. I get to -1. So that's 4. 4 counter damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that gives me... Guys, I'm going to get a 1, 2, 3, 4. I can get one of these. The reference card is certainly very helpful. It's got all the most referenced information that you need. All right, I get one of these because Zernzig just hit his max health. Deep Wound. When you gain this, restore 6 health. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But -3 maximum health. So my max health is now only 5. That's not good. Okay. So it's before we can move. It's still possible for us to move. This says if you have 3+. What does this say? There's something over here that's possible to help. Not a location, remove a disrepair. No, not that guy. Oh yeah. Each time you miss, gain a combo token. When you hit, deal +2 damage per combo. So that was a miss. So here's a combo token. That's his ability, by the way. What is this? There was something about... Oh, it was acid. Deal 2 damage, enemy space exactly 1 space away. All right, we're going to run. So it's a new day. Oh, they just got worse. So, we have another enemy. So this goes away because we didn't deal with it. I rested at the very wrong time. I should have waited another turn to rest. We now have an ogre. Running around with us. Welcome back, Ichiban. Ogre Raider. That's bad. Also, we only have one more day to deal with this Scorched Soldier. I was supposed to take damage. Okay. We're gonna run. 1. Oh, here. 1, 2. Can we do any of these? This is tricky. Well, no, I don't want to run because I gotta. I'm gonna attack and then run. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Attack then run, hit then run. But I'm only attacking this guy. Or we can do this. We can defeat him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I didn't do damage. He didn't attack yet. 2, 3. Because he's got -1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's dangerous. Okay. Before I attack, do we have stuff for this? We don't. What about over here? We need to heal. Well, not engaged. I'd say we're engaged. Your mushroom. Oh, great. All right, we're going to do some forest gathering to get us a mushroom. And then I'm going to use this to get us a meat. And then we're going to make some country stew with 2 mushrooms and a meat. And then heal 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Boom. Feels better. Okay, I'm going to put this on here. I'm going to put this on me. This turn. I should have a full hand. You should have a full hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right, I feel a lot better. So we're gonna attack him. We're gonna use our club. We can finish this. We can do it. 5, 6, 7, 8. We just need 5 more. We got a 5 and a 3. Let's roll again. There's a 6. That's good. That's 2 hits so far. Let's go. A 4. That's good. That's 3 hits. And that is... I just don't want a 3. Just don't roll a 3. Just don't roll a 3. Just don't roll a 3. There's a 2. All right, I've got to stop there. It's too risky. So 1, 2, 3. That's 3 more hits. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We need 2 more. I take counterattack damage, which is... oh, you know what? I do 1 more because of my little friend. So we only need to do 1 more hit on him. But I do still take 3 damage. 3 counterattack damage. Because of the token that's on him. And then... Zernzig is going to go. Come on, Zern. We just need 1 hit. Roll 2 dice. There we go. We got it. We got 1 hit. Boom. He's dead. Just in the nick of time. We get the reward, which is the relic. Two coins and a music note. Hooray! We did it! And now we've got a bad monster. What was I looking at? Oh, we want to get here. He moves 1 and attack. If we had food, we could pay the ogre 2 food. None of these. Okay. He's still gonna... what's his attack? 6? He does 6 damage? That's bad news. We're going to use this bandage roll to heal 4 from Ven. If you pay the ogre 2 food. All right, we're just gonna move because we haven't done our main action, and he doesn't move till the end of the turn. He's gonna come after us, but I at least want to get to this now that we have 2 of these. Let's do this with the fairies. We're gonna give the fairies these relics. Let's see what happens. Number 14. Mist pours through the thick forest like vapors. I am in the right place, right? Yeah. Like vapors of smoke through black teeth onto a serene pond. A mossy boat lies on the shore nearby, rotting and dirty. We have child. We can take the boat out into the pond. We can explore the edge of the lake, or we can catch fish. What does this say? At the forest pond with 2 tarnished rails, she promised to tell us about something she found when she was out hunting if we help. Well, where is this lady? I'm assuming that that's the forest pond. Where would she be? Let's explore the edge of the lake. Maybe she's on the edge of the lake. Okay. Or, you know what? Where would the fairies be? Fairies would probably be in the middle of the lake. So we're going to take the boat out into the pond. As you row toward the center of the pond, you look downward into the glassy water. The sight below almost sends you tumbling over the side. Mangled knights, their skull mouths open and silent screams stare up at your boat. Something buzzes through the air. You assume it to be a large dragonfly, but as it grows closer, hovering above the rotting wood, you know it to be a tarnished fairy. Those beneath the water would not give us what we wanted, so we sent them to their deaths, said the fairy with a devilish grin. We can do the same to you if you reject our entreaty. We can ask the fairy what he wants. We know what the fairy wants, so we'll do that. Turn to 14:3. Otherwise, we could try to catch the fairy. I don't want to do that. We have gold, the king's gold, and you can have it if you bring tarnished artifacts to us, says the fairy. Bring tarnished artifacts to the forest cave west of here. What? Okay. We're not done yet. All right. The fairy darts into the trees as fast as a hunter's arrow. Gain card 57. Return to the Atlas. All right. A tarnished fairy promised to give us gold stolen from the king, no less, if we brought cursed relics to the forest cave west of Tressamut Castle. Is that this? Literally telling Spencer to go jump in the lake. Yeah, well. I don't know where this lady went. The forest cave west of Tressamut Castle. So the castle was up here, if you recall. So that's the end of our turn. So Ogre moves. And he attacks. He does 6 damage. So that's going to go to Ven. I don't remember a cave up there. It's a new day. Come on. we got another bad guy. We got the Ogre Chieftain. Place on your location at the end of each turn. Move 1 and attack. My strategy is going to be... Well, I don't know. So we've got 2 of these guys now. I could try to run. The thing is, when you go to a new Atlas page, the monsters follow you. So I could just... They only move 1 at a time, or 1 space at a time. I could, like, run around. What to do? An easy win. This dude's 30! He has 30... You can't see this. He has 30 health. I can't... Well, I can do a stealth. You can't run away from your troubles. Oh, for the monsters, yeah. You can't... That's right. I mean, so there are a couple of things you can do. And this is what I like. You're not just doomed. You can try to run. They only move 1 space at a time. So as long as you stay 2 spaces, if I were to go here, the next turn they would move here, but then I would go 1, 2. So we could like do this dance until they get off the row. But if they move off the row, we got to move this up. So that's bad. We can also do this check though, these stealth checks to run away from them, but we can only do 1 per turn. So I can at least outrun 1 of them. I think that's what
We must fight.
My thing's going to be
to run away.
We must fight to run away. Right. Thanks, Chris. If we had 2 food, I can pay 1. I could give him food and he'd go away. But I don't have food. We spent it all on that recipe. All right, well, here's what we're going to do. I've got this card. We're going to... Our minor action is going to be this event action, which is... stealth. Okay. The stealth check of 7. But remember, I've got this card. Illusion magic. We're going to disappear. Automatically succeed at a stealth challenge. And then get +1 hope. There. All right. So I discard that. We succeed. This enemy is discarded. Hooray. We still have the big bad. No, that was the big bad. One. He's going to deal 6 damage when he attacks. And I don't feel confident in defeating him. So we're going to run. And then the next turn, we're going to do a stealth event challenge. So we can survive. All right, but we have to run. We're going to come down here. One, two. And while we're here, I'm going to do this storybook action. Number 13. Murder, tangle, watchful. No. While skirting the edge of the dense wood, a crow swoops down, cawing like mad, and lands on your shoulder. You wave it away, but the crow won't leave. It leaps into the air, cawing as if it wants you to follow it in the woods. We can follow the crow, or we can explore the woods on our own. Well, if the crow is telling me to follow it, I'm going to follow it. We also have a crow with us. Merk. The coal-feathered bird flies deftly through the tangle of branches, leading you to an abandoned shack. Inside, beneath the old bed, you find an unlocked chest. The bird takes your gift of bread happily, flying up and out of view. 7 coins! 1 tarnished relic. Wow. I'm glad we did that. 1 torch. Another tarnished relic. Where is that? I think there it is. And 7 coins. Wow. 5, 6, 7. 6, 7. Return to the Atlas. Okay. He moves 1. Okay. New day. I draw this. Traveling alchemist. You think about my freedom with 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 coins. I need 600. Pretty close. It's a new day. I will move here. And then for my event action, I'm going to do a stealth action to get away from this guy. So it's stealth 7. I'm going to use... Well, I have stealth. Then, if we fail, it's 4. 6, that's 10. It's not quite. Either way. Zernzig's going to do it. Zernzig needs a 6. I got a 3. So I still run away, but it hurt us to run away. So I take 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so he's gone. At least that threat is no longer around. Okay. I never did number 11, did I? Oh, you know what? Let's go shopping. Let's go shopping. So I draw 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I've got 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17. Ooh, guys, mushroom pie. And remove it. That's good. You need mushrooms for that. +4 senses. +4 etiquette. Ooh. Assassin dagger. Spiked helmet. healer's kit or crossbow. I like the crossbow. I like the healer's kit. These are all going to help with challenges. But that helmet is good too. These are all mostly good. 4, 9. That's 7 coins. Hey, Panda Angel, how's it going? Good to see you. This game is very pretty, and it's not even finished yet, but it looks great anyway. I hope you're doing well. We're coming up to the end of the stream and not too much longer, but we're trying to complete some quests here, and I'm trying to decide what to buy with my money. I definitely want the crossbow. Oh, you've been lurking? Okay. Well, glad you're here. Armor, that's pretty tempting, but 5, that's 9, 10, 11, 12. Etiquette or sense? We're going to do sense. All right, we're going to get these 3 cards. These go away. Our total cost is what? 5, 9, 12. 112. All right. So you're allowed to have 2 weapons equipped. I'm going to give Ven this crossbow. And each one of them is going to get one of these. Make sure everybody's got 5 cards. 1, 2, 3. Oops. You got a full hand. And your hand is... That's it. Okay. And then I'll do number 11. Oh, you know what? There are some ones here that I didn't do because I went poaching and that made me run away. So I'm going to go to the village again. Number 22, there's another option I can do. All right, so we're at Tressfall, the little hamlet named Tressfall. We're going to stop by the provisioner for supplies. Within the plastered walls of the provisioner's store, it becomes apparent why the mood of Tressfall is so muted. The hamlet has been picked over to staff Tressmut's budding army. What supplies remain are meager and worn. I may purchase 1 rope, 1 torch, and 1 mushroom for 1 coin. Rope, torch, and 1 mushroom. Okay, it's only 1 coin. I'll do it. Torch, rope, mushroom. There it is. Haplo has been lurking. No worries. That's the great thing about technology is you can always go back and watch. Return to the Atlas. Okay. I must find this cave. I went and got all of these for a reason. So the fairies are like, go to this cave by the castle. All right. Let me make sure. West of the castle. Okay. It's a new day. Nighttime break-in. All right, we're going to go 1, 2. We go to page 14. We're going back up here. Oh, no. Is that one not here? There's no castle because it's not finished. So it's probably over here. All right, so I reserve the right to undo what I did because I didn't know that that wasn't on here. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Reminder that these are all unfinished. Okay, so I'm here. I wonder what's over here, though. This is kind of west, and it kind of looks like a cave. So that's where we're going to go. We're going to do number 15. A silvery rock juts out of the thick trees ahead, wearing a yep, this is it. Wearing a cloak of moss that hangs over a cave entrance. Little fairies flutter about, zipping in and out of the cavern. Okay, so we have a choice. This is interesting, and I don't know what to choose here. We can search for the fairy that promised you gold, or we can wait for Circa. Remember, she's the one that I think we should wait for her because we're gonna help her get her child back, and we need that keyword, which we have. So let's do that. 15-2. Circa whistles from the shadows of the tree. You climb through the brush to join her. Did you bring the cursed items? She asks. Yes, we're going to give them to her. We pay 2 cursed relics. Turn to 15.6. Good, she says, hefting them in her hands. We might have enough. They'll try to take them from us without giving my son back, but we can't let them. She approaches the fairy cave, following a mossy path, holding the cursed relics aloft. You follow close behind. You have my son! She calls out. Bring him back unharmed, and I'll consider a trade. Fairies swarm from the cave, surrounding you both in the storm of rapid insect wings. With a greedy gleam in their eyes, the fairies descend on the relics like starving wolves on meat, tugging at them with tremendous force. We can hold on to the relics, or we can let go and run to the cave. I don't know why we would hold on to them. It's because the sun's probably in the cave, so let's go and run to the cave. So we're gonna go to 15:11. You dash into the cave, leaving Sucrot. Oh, hold on a minute. That's not what I meant to do. Oh no. Well, we did it. We made our choice. Leaving Circa to struggle alone, the cave is not dank nor dark, but filled with dazzling crystals embedded in the walls. Soft sunlight shines from little openings above, the drapes of moss hanging everywhere. As you follow a winding passage, you suddenly feel a wave of sleepiness come over you. Your eyes are heavy. Your legs feel wooden. You can hardly move. The last thing you remember is a circle of tarnished fairies dancing and singing around you, their green insect wings buzzing. You wake up far away. Oh no. -2 hope. I didn't mean to do that. I thought she was going to follow us. They got what they wanted. Archive card 44. And gain card 65. Okay. Sorry, lady. I didn't mean to. Gain card 65. We tried to help Circa rescue her child from the tarnished fairies in the forest. We tried. That's important that we tried. Place your travel pawn on page 15 of the atlas in the castle waterfall. Okay. Right there. Next to the castle, return the atlas. Okay, well, that didn't go as I had hoped it would go, but all right, that's going to be unfortunately a sad stopping point. Thought we were gonna save the boy, but we didn't. But we're still alive, so there's that. All right, that's where I'm gonna stop today. But first of all, before we leave, I want to see if y'all have any questions, anything you didn't see that you were curious about, anything I can show you. What are your thoughts as far as like the game, anything that's unclear, and then we can quickly look over at the game found if you don't have any questions. You're very interested. Well, that's good to hear. So far, very interested, even though we didn't help the lady. We tried. Don't forget that we had all these other awesome characters you can play as. Merc Mark that we unlocked. And then we've got Tom in chat, happy to answer any questions about the campaign from the publisher's perspective. How would you rate this compared to all the other ones so far? It's interesting. Like I think out of all of the this style games that Ryan Lockett has made, this is by far the most streamlined. Um, I like that I don't have to, control. As when you play solo, you're always going to have to control two, which is, I think that's reasonable. But you're not having to control 9 characters, so that's helpful. I think it also depends on like where was I going with that? Oh, like the genre. So Sleeping Gods is like that pulp action 1920s kind of setting, and this is more of a fantasy, albeit custom fantasy, I would say. Ryan's own take on that, but so that might sway you depending on if that's a factor or not. But honestly, like this is one of the things that I struggle with, and Haplo, good question. It's not that I struggle. I like both. I love the puzzle of combat in the Sleeping God system, of the grid and placing the markers in a line or in shapes, and the strategy behind doing that is intriguing, and I love that system. But sometimes, as was mentioned earlier, sometimes that can just kind of take too long, and so I like the system here. Real quick, Haplo, I'll give you an overview of how that works. When you're attacking, you have an enemy. Let's say we're attacking this guy. I'll zoom in real quick. He's got 21 health, 9 defense, and 6 damage. When you attack, you choose a weapon that you're attacking with. Let's say I attack with this crossbow. And this is pretty much how combat. I haven't seen any instance so far where this isn't how combat is done. The weapon tells you how many dice you roll. In this case, I roll 2, and these are d6s. Okay, so you roll, and you look at your results. You've got 2 sides of the card here. These are your blunders. So 1, 2, or 3 go over on this side. And these are your successes. 4, 5, and 6 go on this side. Then after that, you can choose to roll 1 die at a time to continue attacking. So I'm going to do that, and I'll tell you why I wouldn't here in a second. So I've got a 3. So now I'm looking at what the total pips are on my blunder side. They total 5. If I ever reach this number, equal to or greater than the defense number, my attack is a miss, and I don't do any damage. So there's a pressure luck element of, should I keep rolling to get more damage, because every die you put over on this side it counts as 1 success, 1 damage essentially. So if I push, I roll again, I've got a 4. Okay, great, that's a hit. That's considered a success. I roll again, that's a 2. So now we're at 3, 5, 7. Now we're getting close here. If I roll again and I get a 2 or more, let's say I rolled a 2. Well, 2 or 3. It goes on the blunder side, and I miss and don't do any damage, but I still take the counter attack damage, which is 6. If, however, I stop, I land 2 hits, 1 for each die that's over here, plus any bonus that's on the die, which this says +1. So I would land 3 hits on him. I'd still take counter attack damage, but at least I'm damaging him. Otherwise, if I busted over on this side, I would deal no damage to him. You also have the opportunity, depending on the weapon that you have, to deal critical damage. If your pips over here on this side total 20 or more, again, before busting on your blunder side, you can potentially deal critical damage. In this case, I would deal an additional 3 damage if I was able to do that. But again, it's a pressure luck kind of thing of, should I roll again? I might be successful, but I might fail. So I like that. I like that element of it. And of course, there are ways to re-roll dice. There are ways to add additional damage. But it's pretty streamlined and simple. You're not getting out a bunch of cards with grids. You're just rolling dice, making risks, being risky, and mitigating those dice. So hope that gives you a good understanding of how that works. Any other questions? So as Tom said, yeah, you're welcome. As Tom said, the project starts in 24 days. That was at November 2nd. Is that what you said? November 3rd. It was November 3rd. That's a Monday. And you can type exclamation Raven in the chat. It'll give you the link to the game found page where you can follow now. There's already been updates on the page, and you can see a closer up summary of the campaign. I'm looking at it now. Let me see. Let me see if I can bring this up here real quick. Just a second. I'm going to do Chrome. There we go. Let's take a look at this together. All right, yeah. So again, that's the box size, at least the width. Let me get this over here. The width, it might be a little bit deeper, but as far as the width, it's going to be the biggest box so far. Exciting, quick combat. Again, there's a lot of excitement of, oh, I rolled, I missed. What can I do to mitigate this roll? I found a lot of moments like that. There are starting characters, but as you play, you can unlock characters depending on the quest lines that you do. Over 600 cards, which is the most he said he's done in the game. There are enemies that are starting that are like your general enemies, but also throughout the game there are 10 envelopes that have hidden enemies in them that you won't encounter unless you do certain things, make certain choices. So that's cool. Again, it's another one of those that's like you play through it once, but the more you can't experience the entire world in one playthrough. So yeah. And then there's still at least, in Ryan's note, he said there's still at least 12 months of development work on the game still to be done, whether it's more writing, more fine-tuning of things. So, but ultimately, what you saw today is just a really good sample of the gameplay. There's some things subject to change for balancing and whatnot, but ultimately, what you saw today is what it's going to be like. Minis for all the characters. I believe they are for, let's see. I think so. I don't know about the unlockable characters. Tom, are you aware of that? Is it for every playable character, even ones that you unlock, that you get, that they all have miniatures? Yes, and one mini for the group. Okay, so yeah, all the characters, and you'll have the standees if you prefer those. But then the big one, let's see. This one's really cool. Let's see, anything else? Haplo, you may not have seen. You do have the atlas that you're exploring, but also in addition to the storybook encounters, you can have location encounters. So you see there on the page that, and I'll show you here real quick, that if you ever, well, this was probably, if you're at a location, if you see the book icon, you do a storybook encounter, but if you see a compass icon, you would turn to that in the story or in the location book, and it's like a zoom in on that location, and then everybody can separately control their characters, going around fighting monsters, exploring points of interest, that kind of thing. Chris says, oh, let's see, would you call this the best or greatest game ever? That's a good question. I don't like, again, as far as the system goes, I found it, the rule book is not done, but once I understood how to play, like getting it out and playing it and exploring it is definitely the most streamlined of all of them. I'm loving it, and I can't wait to see more, for sure. Yes, exactly, like the Dungeons and Sleeping Gods in a way. I think that's definitely where the idea came from, but yeah, it's cool that you've got the larger world, but then get in closer, and I like being able to go out and do certain things. There's lock picking mechanism. There's even a discourse mechanism where you can argue, where you can have an argument with NPCs. So that's fun. Yes, there is a save and resume system in the rulebook. I haven't used it, but it's there. Characters have their own starting cards, starting equipment. They also have their own abilities. Now, here's some stuff that Ryan told me that I'm going to briefly mention in my video. As a reminder, I'm going to summarize all of my thoughts, all of the things I've talked about today, and just all the information that I think is important for you to know in my preview video that I'll be publishing next week. But here's some cool things that we didn't cover today, and even something that's already changed in the game since this preview copy was sent. There's going to be, I think he said that there's going to be an advanced mode that you can play, where it gives you more, more things for you to accomplish as your character rather than just as a group. So you'll be able to gain XP that you can use to get new items and upgrade your character. Something else that's going to change is, let me show you this. So you have this board, and right now this track is down here for your mind songs and also your health. Right now it's when you take damage, you put a thing on here. But the plan right now is to add a second board that this will slide into, and that will have your health track and your mind song, so you don't have to do this. So there'll be like 4 of those, but you only need 4 because you just slide this on top of it, 1 for each player. There's what I mentioned earlier too, is that you don't really lose in the game. Like, your characters can die, and there are plenty of characters you can swap out if you do die. But you're never at a point where it just says game over, you lose. You'll get your choices and outcomes of various events will impact the final ending that you make your way to. And it may not be a desirable ending, but you don't really lose. So I thought that was cool, that you don't ever get to a point where you're just like, game over, start over. And he said even there's going to be, like, as you go along these story tracks, these branches, that you'll come to a point where it's like, this is a point of no return. If you continue from this point, you won't get to go back and explore more of the world. So it gives you that warning of, if you want to go complete some other quests before you get here, you can do that, which sound very video gamey, that I've seen that before. So seems like a lot of cool improvements to this open world system that initially started with Sleeping Gods, but is now being advanced in this brand new world of Silveranth. So yeah, that's everything I have. Any additional questions for me or for the official representative of Red Raven Games? Now's your chance. Otherwise, I'm going to say farewell. I've got to put all this away. Definitely thank you all for hanging out today and having fun with me and asking questions. It's been great. I always love an opportunity to play Red Raven Games in front of an audience. You're very welcome. If you are in our Discord, you can always post additional questions there. !Discord if you're not in that community. But obviously, stay tuned to the YouTube channel where the video will be posted. And then for any other questions, you can always go to the GameFound page for the game. Good. Yes, thanks very much. Thank you so much, Tom and Red Raven Games, for sponsoring the stream. I had a blast. I've had a great time this week exploring the game and getting to know it. Hey, and you know what? You probably didn't even notice that I pretended, when I did some of these encounters, I pretended I didn't know what was going to happen, but I knew because I'd already played it. But that's how good I am. So and again, sorry about the music. I don't know why the music's not working. Any kind of music that I tried to get working did not. It failed. So I failed the song check. That's right. That's called acting. All right, everybody. Well, Well, y'all have an awesome rest of your week, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, everybody.
You're watching Pieces and Pixels. Follow now and subscribe to join in the fun.